Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. The Bible is my GPS. GPS, Global Positioning System, is a complex entity that consists of satellites, ground stations, and receivers, and is used by planes, ships, motor vehicles, smartphones, among other user entities. This sophisticated piece of technology was developed by technocrats in the U.S. Department of Defense and provides information from any location on Earth by four major satellites. In my family, my wife loves the GPS. It is commonly useful in helping you to find a destination that you would otherwise not be able to find on your own. But even if my wife knows the destination, she uses the GPS nonetheless. This talking facility is useful to her in finding the shortest or the quickest route from point A to point B. Trust me, I reluctantly admit that it is 99.5% accurate. Is that what our conversation is about today? In a sense, it is. The Bible is the oldest and the most reliable book. I can't tell you how many satellites it uses, but it is a complex, super accurate GPS system that is a must-have for every Christian. If you want to know how powerfully useful this collection of 66 individual books is, then let me share some truths, not facts, truths about the Bible. The Bible was written by about 40 different writers, independent of each other, from different countries over a span of approximately 1,500 years, from about 1400 BC to about AD 90. The real author of the Bible is God. He simply selected these men, and through divine inspiration, this marvelous book came into existence. God has jealously guarded the book, and despite numerous efforts by despots, atheists, maniacal rulers, and their zealous supporters to destroy or annihilate this Bible from the face of the earth, it has survived all these demonic attacks and today stands as the most widely read book in the world. There are thousands of versions of the Bible, and it has been translated in whole in approximately 500 languages and is available online in more than 1,500 languages. There is nothing to be compared with this powerful book. I currently own approximately 6 or 7 Bibles, far less than my wife. But for me, it is extremely valuable, vital to my life, and necessary for my existence. That brings me to the main point of today's message. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Psalm 119, verse 133. Psalm 119 is the longest psalm or chapter in the Bible. It was written by ancient Jewish writers and consists of 22 stanzas and 176 verses. And listen to this. Every single verse speaks about the vitality and import of the Bible. The writer sometimes prays his requests, or at other times speak in unequivocal terms about the significant value of the Bible. Our text is a request to God, the originator of the Bible. In this request, we hear the writer speaking to God in a personal and transparent term, probably holding the open Bible in his hands and saying to God, "Use this book that comes from you to govern my life, every detail of it. Correspondingly, do not let my life be influenced or contaminated by sin." This text was represented in a song entitled "Order My Steps," and I found myself playing it over and over in my head, and as it was playing, I subconsciously started to think about the words, and before long I am sitting over this text. I'm not going to say this is the only verse from this huge collection of verses that has a New Testament connection, but yes, there is a New Testament connection, and I want to visit that other piece of biblical text to emphasize the critical nature of this original text found in Psalm 119. I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. Galatians 5 verses 16 and 17. Now, you might be super spiritual, and you have long since passed this phase of your Christian life, and for that I say, congratulations. There are, however, a large number of us who wrestle with what the Bible teaches and what we experience. That ugly, disgusting thing called sin is always at war at our desire to live and please God. So the text asks God to guide my daily footsteps in the Bible, and please do not let sin rule my life. The Galatian text, on the other hand, is God speaking to us and telling us, walk every day of your life as a Christian in the Spirit. And that way you will not have to give in to sin and become an agent of the flesh. God fleshes it out. The Spirit and the flesh are not companions. In fact, the Holy Spirit is anti-flesh, and flesh represents sin. And so the Holy Spirit becomes your GPS to avoid sin. While the text from Psalm 119 carries the same significance, the Bible is your GPS to avoid the roads where sin is. Thus, the Bible and the Holy Spirit work in tandem to influence our lives, to influence the journey of Christianity that you are on. So how does this work? You have to read the Bible as often as possible. The Bible is described as milk for infants, and infants need milk several times every day. So a wise thing to do is to commit to read the Bible as soon as you're out of bed every day, so that it gets to settle in your system. But because it is your guidebook, we should read it every day. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Psalm 119 verse 11. The word is regarded as a dark place, so the Bible becomes very, very useful. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. Psalm 119 verse 105. Now go to the New Testament text. And the Holy Spirit lives inside of you, and he communicates with your spirit. For you to walk in the Spirit is to commit to live your life as the Spirit tells you. And he is strong on telling you to not commit sin, not in words, not in thought, not in actions. Sounds like your GPS? Here is the cool thing. The Holy Spirit uses the Bible to speak to you. So it makes sense for you to read the Bible, because those are some of the moments he speaks directly to you. And some other times he reminds you of something you had read before. I'm not conducting a Bible study today, I promise. But I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you about the topic for today. I am committing to using the Bible the way my wife uses the GPS, all the time. It is the time-honored secret to keep you from sinning and to have a great life as a Christian walking in the Spirit. My parting words to you, therefore, is this. Get familiar with your GPS. Follow the Bible through the direction of the Holy Spirit. With this effective GPS system, you won't ever be lost.